Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Dani. In today's video I'm gonna show you how to crochet this beautiful blanket. It is another super easy beginner friendly blanket that you can make in less than 10 hours. That's right, you can make this chunky blanket in as little as 7 hours if you crochet somewhat fast. But before we get into today's video, I want to remind you guys that you can find the free pattern on my blog. I will leave the link in the description box of this video. And if you want the PDF pattern, you can purchase that on my shop. I will also leave the link in the description box of this video, as well as all the materials that I am using. So without further ado, let's get into today's tutorial. For this blanket, I'm going to be using a 12mm crochet hook, of course your scissors, and a tapestry needle or darning needle. For the yarn, I'm using yet again Bernat blanket in the color Birch, burnt mustard, and dark gray. The dark gray will be my main color, and then the mustard and birch will be my accent colors, the stripes that I have at the end of the blanket. You can use, of course, whatever colors you like. To begin this blanket, we're going to make a slip knot, and then we're going to start the foundation chain. For this video, I'm going to be making a small sample to show you exactly what I'm making and how I'm doing it, but of course you will need a much larger chain in order to achieve the size that we are making. Again, all the details, the size and everything that you need to know about this blanket will be on my blog. Okay, so now let's begin with 85 chains. And we're going to be working with the griddle stitch, which I love. I have used this stitch multiple times. It's super simple. So now in the second chain from the hook, you're going to insert and make a single crochet. Then the next stitch in the next chain will be a double crochet. And now we're going to alternate single crochets and double crochets, and we'll be creating this beautiful texture that it's created by the double crochet once it gets kind of like scrunched because of the height of the single crochet, if that makes sense. But now we're going to alternate single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet all along your chain. We started with a single crochet and we're ending with a double crochet. That's how you know you're doing it right, is if you ended the row with a double crochet. So continue doing this all the way along your chain. Once we are at the end, now for row 2, usually what we would do is chain 1 and then continue. But in this case, we're just going to pull slightly, just like that, and then turn your work and go ahead and continue crocheting in this very first space that you have in here. And again, the first stitch will be a single crochet, and as you can see, now we're alternating. So we have the single crochet on top of the double crochet, then the next one will be the double crochet, and this one will be on the single crochet. So that creates this beautiful texture. But every single row you will begin with a single crochet and you will end with a double crochet. So not need to think about anything else. Just alternate single crochet and double crochet all across your project, your row. Okay, so now we're going to crochet 10 rows with the main color. And it's time to change to the contrast color. And I'm gonna show you how I change the colors, how I switch colors. We're only doing 2 rows of the color, the birch color, and this is my little trick. So I have in here the last stitch. I'm gonna put my finger to know where the stitch ends. That's how much yarn I have. So now I'm gonna cut it a little bit, a few inches more than where I placed my finger or my nail in there. And now I'm going to join with the invisible knot, which is basically wrapping your yarn color A, making a knot on color B, and then vice versa. Color B making a knot on color A, and then we pull tight to close, and that creates these very nice knot that I really like using for blanket yarn. And this method, obviously it's not perfect. We are eyeing in here and seeing what works. Sometimes I will get it perfect and the color change will be right where it has to be. Sometimes it will be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. But anyways, once we pull the knots together, then we can cut as close as you want from the knot. And I like to wrap the knot a little bit to make sure it's nice and secure. And if I did it right, then I will have my yarn, the color change right there. So now if I pull slightly, it kind of is right where it should go. And of course there are a lot of different methods to change your colors. You can do whichever is easier for you, whichever you like best. This one is very comfortable for me, so I really like it. As you can see, the knot, it's kind of in between the stitch in here, so it's not really showing. So if you're okay with that, then you can definitely try this method. And if not, then use any other one that you like. You can weave in the ends and make it even more perfect. Especially if you're making a border, you won't really see it. So now we're going to continue with this very simple pattern, alternating the single crochets and double crochets, and this is exactly how you're going to build your blanket, how you're going to make your blankets. So you can pause in here. This will also be available on my blog. So once we are done with all of our rows, our changes of colors and everything, it's time to finish the blanket. And all I do is snip the yarn, I remove my hook, and then I put my fingers in between that loop and bring the tail in, so then I can pull tight and create a little knot in here. And then you will use your tapestry needle to weave in the end, and that is it, you guys. This blanket, it is super simple to make relatively quickly, especially if you crochet somewhat fast. I can guarantee you that you can have it done in one weekend. It is absolutely beautiful. The color combinations are endless. And of course, you can get creative in here and make a border if you'd like, or just leave it as is. I'm gonna leave mine like this. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. If you're making this blanket, don't forget to share your pictures on social media, and remember that you have the free pattern for this specific size that I made in this video on my blog. You can go ahead and check the description box of this video. You will have all the links there, as well as the materials that I used and everything that you need to know. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!